Hey y'all, welcome to JT 4x4 Offroading. If you are new to off-roading, you're in the right place, and if you're a seasoned off-roader, this is just going to be really good information for you too. Today I'm going to break down my tire and wheel combination and what exactly the offset means for this truck and what it can mean for you depending on your build. So let's dive into it. Alright y'all, so here's my setup. I am running the 315 70R 17 BF Goodrich all-terrain TA KO2s. These are 315, but they're, I'd say, about 34 and a half, so almost a 35-inch tire. And these are the KMC Treks. Really good looking wheel. And I really like the BF Goodriches. They are a really solid tire. They've got real nice tread on it. These have been a stable tire for many people in the off-roading industry. These grip rocks and dirt like a champ. I've had absolutely no issues with them at all. And the KMC Trek wheels, they're a tough look. They complement the truck completely, and it just looks really good. I'm gonna actually show you real quick. Now, this is on our Jeep Rubicon, and these are also the KO2s, except a little smaller. These are 285s, and these complement the Jeep really well. And I'm going to show you in just a second the difference between a 285 and a 315, so you can see it right side by side. I just want to let you guys see the difference between a 285 and a 315. So here is your 285 on the Jeep. Let me just show you here. There is what that 315 would look like. Let me put my phone here so it won't roll. So if you can take a look, that is a significantly bigger tire. You can see there just how much bigger that tire really is. It is substantially bigger. A little hard for me to get that side shot for you. Let me jump on the other side real quick. You see that? Do you see what I'm saying? So you've got a 285, right? Which is about a 33 and some change. And you've got a 34 and a half, but they look substantially different. This gives you some perspective, and let's jump into some of the technical aspects. All right, so give you a little background with my experience. This is an all-terrain. I've run them on several vehicles, not just the Rubicon. I run them on the truck. I run them on all my previous vehicles too, and they're just a good tire. They're affordable, they last long, and they look good, and they grip the terrain. I've used it in sand, mud, snow, and daily driving, and that's a big plus right there. For my beginner guys that are thinking about what they're doing, thinking about tires and wheel combos, think about what you're going to be doing with those tires. Are you daily driving? Are you on the trail? Do you live near, let's say, like rocks? Do you live near sand? Do you do a little bit of everything? Do you need an all-terrain tire? Maybe a mud terrain tire? Maybe a hybrid tire? And they even have, what is it called? The rough terrain tire, which is kind of a hybrid between an all-terrain and a mud terrain, but they call it a rough terrain tire. For me personally, I think the BFGs do a really good job. They have, these are the KO2s, they have KO3s now. I used to run 275 Nitto Trail Grapplers on this. They were just know your mud. That's a mud terrain tire. The mud terrains are noisy. They're going to be very rough on the road. So if you ever hear a truck going by you and you hear it going right with the tires, that is probably a mud terrain tire. It's a very aggressive tire. So everything's going to be specific to your build and what you want to do. I mean, tire weight matters, your tire weight matters, your wheel weight matters, because after you set this up, don't expect to get great gas mileage. Even putting these on from the 275 to 315, I didn't really lose any fuel mileage. I actually feel like I might be doing a little better because the mud terrain just tore up my gas mileage, y'all. So just some things to consider. Let's jump into offsets so we can explain what exactly that means. All right, let's talk about wheel offset. So super simple, but extremely important. Offset is how far your wheels sit in or out from your truck's center, measured in millimeters typically. It keeps your tires from rubbing your fenders. Positive offsets are closer to the truck. So for for good stability, big tires, but big tires are going to rub. So if you have a positive offset, they're going to be closer here, right? My positive offset is this way. My negative offset is going to be towards the outside of this wheel. This is I'd say a neutral offset. It's 0, right? So it's not too far in, it's not too far out, it's 0. It's zeroed right out. In these KMC Treks, right? That is what this KMC Trek is. It is a 0 offset wheel, and it keeps this wheel very centered. But if you maybe are going with a 30, a true 35 or a 37, you may need a negative offset to push your wheel out. So the further you go out, the further it's out from the fender, right? You have to consider that kind of stuff too. So a lot of people may use wheel spacers. So when you're up here, sometimes you might have problems rubbing maybe on your arms or anything like that. A lot of Jeeps, let me just switch over here real quick. A lot of Jeeps will rub here, they'll rub here up on these skid plates. And again, the offset, depending on where you're sitting, you've got 0, you've got positive, and you've got negative offset. Try to keep that as simple as possible. I hope that kind of makes sense. So just so you can kind of see it, that is what a 0 offset is for this wheel. If it was positive, it would be going closer to the truck. If it's negative, it's going to be going away from your truck. My dog. Let's talk about fender mods. The bigger you go with your tire, you may have to either remove or trim, okay? This is a 34.5-inch tire, right, give or take. We had to trim some from this back, and it just depends. Some from this front. I actually have a video that I will link in here so you guys can see it. We've done it on a buddy's truck. I didn't record the one on this truck, but I did it on my buddy's truck. But you need to trim a little bit of this away, depending on this flex. And you always want to flex your tire out to see where you need to trim. Outline it with a Sharpie marker or a piece of tape so you can know, what to cut, what to tuck, and what to bolt back. But this axle, right, a lot of axles, when my locker engages, it moves forward. So just be conscious of if you have a posi. This has a G80 automatic locking differential. Each differential is going to act a little differently, but it sends this axle forward just a little bit. And when that happened with my mud terrain tires is it grabbed these lips that are inside here. And when it grabbed the lip, it just tore it all to heck. So you may have to modify this a little bit depending on how big those tires are. Now let's just jump to the front real quick. And I can show you right here, you can see we've had to mod this right here. We had to cut because when I was turning, right, this tire was hitting, so we just went ahead and cut and tucked. And I don't know if you can see it well, it's the same for here. We had to cut this out too because when I was flexing, I was grabbing that fender, and especially when I'm compressing, if I'm going fast or anything, it was going up and down, and just we were clicking and banging and doing things that we didn't want to do. So make sure that you mod your fenders appropriate to your tire size, and just those are things to think about before getting a bigger set of tires. Can you do the work yourself? Do you want to do the work yourself? Are you going to pay someone to do the work? What is it going to take to get this tire onto your vehicle? All right, y'all, so one more time, that's what the truck looks like with these tires. They are big, so when you're coming out looking at them, they're nice looking. I think this tire and wheel combo is perfect for this specific setup on the Trail Boss. All right, y'all, that is all I got for you today. I really hope this video was informative and it gave you an idea of the size of these tires versus maybe a 285. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. What's your setup? Are you thinking of going up to a 35? Let me know what you got, what you like, what's worked out for you, and what your favorite tire is. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell notification. Thank you all, and God bless.